just going to
You're going to get wet. And Michael, I don't know how much swimming you do because I don't know about your summer schedule. But you stay in that water too long, you can start to wrinkle. Have you ever seen that happen?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
If you stay in too long.
You do. And there are a lot of legal wrinkles, my friend, that they have to contend with because the reality of it is Georgia, New York, the January 6th committee, now the FBI, all of them are like pincer moves on Trump's culpability around, now we know, national security related issues, certainly trying to steal an election in places like Georgia. And so for senators and for congressmen, their question becomes, how close do I get to the sun, like Icarus, right? How close do I get before stuff starts to melt and I start to fall? And what the court is saying is, nah, you need to get a little bit closer to the sun because we need to talk to you. And that's a problem.
Which goes to the heat, as it were.
Which goes to the
heat. A lot of geological and climate energy in our analysis tonight, Michael. I want to talk to you more about what you just said, that it doesn't have to be this way.
Right.
There have been people in both parties who've had criminal problems in the past. We can get into the analysis, but the Democrats did not stick with Rod Blagojevich or John Edwards even after he did beat his case. So legally he beat his case, but it uncovered enough that they said, we're moving on with this. The Republican Party of the 70s, to its credit, did not continue to rally around Nixon. He went out and said anything the president does is legal, and a heck of a lot of Republicans said, there he goes again. That's why we stood up to him, because that is, talk about actual fascism and not its fake invocation. That is, the state is me, that is actual fascism. And so now I'm going to do the thing I do with a warning to the audience, Michael. I'm going to play you something from a prominent conservative with a big following, not because it is true, but because it is relevant to deal with. And that is Tucker Carlson. He doesn't know the future of the elections. He doesn't know the future of the prosecutions. I tell viewers all the time, we know this, we don't know that. I can't tell you who's going to be indicted, Michael. I can't do it. Apparently, Tucker thinks he can. So not because it's true, but because it's relevant. Here's his claim about Donald Trump's, he believes, looming indictment.
Okay.
When the Biden Justice Department or some other state law enforcement agency under their influence finally does what you know they're going to do, which is indict Donald Trump. Obviously, they're going to do that.
Michael, what is happening here when it's not Trump's enemies right now, but someone like Tucker trying to lay a groundwork for that expectation?
Well, you put your finger on the important piece, and that is laying the groundwork. All this is about how do we muddy the waters later on? How do we create conflict? How do we create damage and control the damage that we create? And the closest example of how we've seen this play out is with the hearings earlier with Mueller. And you had the attorney general, which they no longer have in their back pocket, coming out and telling the country what's in the document before we actually have a chance to see it. So then when we see it, we're like, well, he already told us it's this thing, so that must be what it is. When you don't have that kind of authority around you, you don't have that kind of weight, you have Tucker Carlson. And that's not saying much, but that's all you got. So you roll him out and he starts this, well, they're going to indict him. And you know when they do, this is what it means. Trying to do that bar thing where I'm going to tell you something that's going to happen. And when it happens, I've already told you what to think about it. And that is something that it is a staple in Trump world because Trump does it. But Trump doesn't want to right now be the guy to do that so much because there are legal consequences every time he opens his mouth. And he knows that. At least his lawyers are telling them that. And he seems to be trying to adhere to as much of that as possible. But to your first point about, what we saw during the Nixon era and what we've seen when the Democrats have had to confront that kind of behavior within their party and that they've cut it out. There was a political evaluation that they made. The calculation was, we can't afford to take the political hit. So guess what? Senator, loved your presidential bid. No, we're done. Mr. President, I get it, but we got a big election coming up. You're done. Republicans have recalculated this based on what they've seen in Trump and realized, Well, there aren't any political consequences for these actions. There are no political consequences for us. We're winning primaries right and left. The voters haven't turned away from us. Trump goes out and has a rally. People still show up. Hell, the FBI raids his home, and voters just come out and with their flags and their trucks and their horns, and they're there for Trump. So they calculate a different penalty when it comes to the politics. Right. And so that's why you see them lean in the way they do. November is a chance for the voters to go, no, we've been watching you, and we don't like what we see, and we're not giving you the power. And that's, I think, could be a slight wake-up call for Republicans in how they calculate 2024.
That makes a lot of sense, and you put in context something that sounded sort of counterintuitive. Michael Steele, thank you. We have our shortest break, 60 seconds.